The meal and the stranger. The neon lights of Colony Station Vega-9 reflected on the wet metal streets. Rain dripped from the curved glass ceiling, falling in thin streams onto the busy walkways below. People and aliens moved quickly, some carrying packages, others arguing in strange languages. But at one small cafe near the central hub, the world seemed quieter, warmer. Inside, Captain Ren Hale, a retired soldier, sat at a corner table with his daughter, Luna. She was 8, small and curious, with wide brown eyes that seemed to notice everything. Ren sipped his steaming coffee while Luna nibbled on a sandwich. "You know," Ren said, "it's been a long week. Nothing exciting ever happens here anymore." Luna looked up, smiling. Maybe something exciting is happening right now." Ren chuckled, shaking his head. "You're always dreaming, kid." She giggled and took another bite of her sandwich. But as she ate, something outside the glass caught her attention. A small figure crouched in the rain. An alien girl, skinny and trembling, with pale green skin and dark wide eyes. She was dirty, her clothes torn, and she stared at the cafe like she could taste the warmth and food inside. Luna's heart tightened. She watched the girl quietly, noticing how her hands shook. Without thinking, she whispered, "Daddy." Ren followed her gaze. "What is it? She looks hungry," Luna said softly. Ren frowned, scanning the street. "Kid, you can't just—" Before he could finish, Luna was already standing. She held half her sandwich in her small hands and walked toward the door. "I'm going to give it to her," she said. Ren jumped up. "Luna, wait!" But she didn't. She stepped out into the rain, her coat flapping, and knelt beside the alien girl. She held out the food. The alien girl's eyes widened, but she didn't speak. Slowly, she took the sandwich and whispered in a voice barely audible, "Thank you, but they will come for you now." Luna froze. "Who will?" The girl didn't answer. Instead, she grabbed the sandwich and ran toward the shadows. Ren pushed open the cafe door, splashing water across the floor. "Luna, get back here!" His voice was loud, angry, but mixed with fear. But before they could move, alarms began to blare across the station. Red lights flashed along the streets. A deep voice boomed from speakers mounted on nearby buildings. "Alert! Unauthorized contact with Subject 47. Capture immediately." Ren's eyes narrowed. "Subject 47? Luna grabbed his hand. "Daddy, is she in trouble?" Ren didn't answer. His mind was racing. He saw officers in armored suits moving quickly down the street, their weapons raised. His instincts kicked in. Trained from years in battle, he scanned every possible escape route. Luna clung to his leg. "Daddy, she needs help." Ren's heart ached. He wanted to argue, to run, to do the safest thing for his daughter. But when he looked at the alien girl's glowing eyes, something inside him changed. He saw fear, yes, but also something human, something he could not ignore. He took a deep breath and said, "All right, we're going after her, together." The moment he stepped forward, the officers spotted them. "Halt!" one shouted. "Captain Hale, you are under arrest." Ren's hands tensed into fists. His daughter tugged at his sleeve, her small voice trembling. "Daddy, please don't let them take her." Ren looked back at her, at both girls. He could see the rain glistening on the alien's skin, the fear in her wide eyes, and the innocent determination of his daughter. He knew in that moment he had a choice, to stand by the rules, or to protect the helpless. His jaw tightened. "Luna," he said quietly, "hold on tight. It's going to get dangerous," and with that, he stepped off the curb into the rain-soaked streets of Vega-9, chasing after the girl who held the weight of both their destinies. Above them, the neon lights flickered. Somewhere in the shadows, eyes were watching. The chase had begun. The choice and the chase rain poured heavier now, turning the streets of Vega-9 into shining rivers of light and shadow. Neon signs reflected off wet metal, flickering like distant stars. Captain Ren Hale sprinted beside his daughter Luna, her small hand clutching his tightly. Ahead, the alien girl, Kaelra, ran like she was part of the wind itself. Her small legs moved fast, carrying her through narrow alleys and half-collapsed walkways. Every now and then, she looked back, her glowing green eyes meeting Ren's for a brief second. Ren's heart pounded. He wasn't used to chasing anyone, let alone a child, human or alien. Yet something inside him urged him forward. She's innocent. She doesn't belong in this world.
"Not like this, Daddy,"
Luna shouted, struggling to keep up. She's scared. I know, kid, Ren gasped. But you have to trust me. Stay close. Kelra disappeared down a side alley, too narrow for Ren to follow at full speed. He skidded to a halt. The neon lights reflected in puddles on the ground, and he could see the flash of movement. Security drones scanning the streets for unauthorized contact. Ren crouched, pulling Luna behind a stack of crates. They're after her, he said, his voice low. And they'll take anyone who helps her. Luna's eyes widened. Why, she's just a girl. Ren shook his head. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Kelra's voice floated back through the alley, soft but urgent. They can't let me escape. I'm dangerous to them. Ren frowned. Dangerous? You're just a child. She's telling the truth, Luna whispered. I can feel it, Daddy. She's different. Ren looked down at his daughter, then at the wet streets. Something in Kelra's eyes had struck him when Luna gave her the sandwich, a flicker of fear and intelligence. Not animal fear, not wild fear. Human. A sudden shadow passed overhead. Ren looked up. A patrolling drone hovered above, red scanning lights sweeping the streets. They see us, Ren shouted. Run! He grabbed Luna's hand, bolting through the puddled streets, taking a route that only someone who had served in combat would notice. They darted through abandoned transport tubes and crumbling walkways. Every turn brought them closer to the station's lower levels, darker areas where the neon glow barely reached. Kelra appeared again, running just ahead. She glanced back, mouth opening as if to warn them, but no words came. Instead, her small hands glowed faintly, a light barely visible in the dark alley. Ren stopped for a moment, stunned. What is that? He muttered. Kelra's voice came again, urgent. I can feel their machines. They're trying to track me through the city. Ren clenched his fists. Machines? What machines? Before Kelra could answer, the sound of rushing metal filled the air. The security drones had found them. Their engines hummed as red lights swept across walls and ceilings. Daddy, Luna screamed. Ren looked at his daughter and Kelra. He knew he had to make a decision. If he ran straight, they might escape. But if he hesitated, the girls could be captured. He took a deep breath. Luna, trust me, he said firmly. We're going to save her, no matter what. He stepped forward into the open street. His eyes locked on Kelra. Go, he shouted. Kelra dashed toward him, glowing faintly. And Ren felt something strange at the pull, like energy running through the girl's body, connecting to the street, the lights, the city itself. The drone swooped down, weapons aiming, lights blinding. Ren grabbed Kelra and Luna, pushing them behind a stack of crates. Sparks flew as the drones fired, but Ren's instincts guided them to safety. Kelra's hand brushed his arm and a jolt of energy surged through him. For a moment, the world felt strange, alive, pulsing, almost breathing. Ren blinked, shaken. What did you do? He asked quietly. Kelra didn't answer. She only whispered, They're watching. And they're not just machines. From the shadows, a figure emerged. Tall, armored, moving silently among the neon-lit streets. The glow from his visor reflected in the puddles. Ren's jaw tightened. Then it's time we show them. Humans don't give up. The chase had become more than survival. It was war. And Ren knew deep down that the city itself was about to fight with them, in ways they could not yet understand. The truth beneath the station Ren led Luna and Kelra through the dark tunnels under Vega-9. The upper streets were chaos, alarms blaring, red lights flashing, and security drones sweeping the city. But down here in the abandoned maintenance corridors, the world felt eerily quiet. The walls were metal, damp with condensation, and the hum of the station's engines echoed all around them. Kelra's small hands glowed faintly, lighting the path like a soft green lantern. Where are we going? Luna asked, her voice trembling slightly. Somewhere safe, Ren said. He didn't tell her how deep they were about to go, or the truth he had not yet learned himself. Kelra glanced back over her shoulder. They won't stop looking for me, she whispered. The station, it has eyes everywhere, Ren nodded. We'll need more than speed to hide. We'll need a plan. As they walked, Kelra's glowing veins pulsed brighter. Ren noticed it now. A strange rhythm, almost like she was connected to the station itself. The lights above flickered as she passed, and for a moment he could swear the hum of machinery changed to match her pulse. What? Are you? He asked, his voice low. Kaelra looked at him sadly. I am what they made me. Ren stopped walking, turning to face her. Made you? What do you mean? She hesitated, her small hands trembling. They experimented on me. They used humans and aliens. They mixed us. I was one of the first, Luna gasped. You're like me? Kaelra shook her head. No, you're human. I'm something else. I don't belong anywhere. Ren felt a chill. He had seen many things in his life, but this was different. Something in the way she spoke, in the energy flowing through her, told him the truth was darker than he imagined. They reached a rusted door, marked with alien symbols that glowed faintly. Kaelra stepped forward. This is where I can show you the truth. Ren hesitated. Truth? Kaelra pressed her small hand against the door. The symbols lit up, then faded, revealing a hidden lab beyond. Inside, the room was cold and sterile. Glass tubes lined the walls, each holding a small form suspended in pale liquid. Machines hummed and blinked. And in the center, a screen displayed files labeled with human names. And dates. Ren's stomach twisted. What is this? Kaelra pointed at one of the files. They used humans to make others like me. Ren stepped closer, scanning the rows of tubes. Faces stared back at him through the glass. Some human, some alien, some in between. Some were asleep, some lifeless. Then he froze. One file flickered on the screen. It showed a donor code, human 001, and the face next to it was familiar. Ren swallowed hard. He remembered a medical program years ago, one he had volunteered for after the war. They said it was harmless, routine. The screen confirmed his fear. Kaelra was made using him. Luna's small voice broke the silence. Daddy, is she your daughter? Ren's throat tightened. No. Yes. I don't know. She's part of me somehow. Kaelra looked down, tears forming in her wide eyes. I didn't ask to be made. I just wanted to live. Ren knelt beside her. Then I'll protect you. No one will hurt you again. Before they could leave, the lab door hissed open. Guards had tracked them. The alarms in the upper station had led them here. Kaelra grabbed Ren's arm. They know we're here. We have to move, now. Ren nodded, pulling Luna close. The tunnels ahead seemed darker than before, but he no longer cared about the shadows. What mattered was the girl beside him, the life he had never known existed. And the fight he now had to lead. The three of them ran deeper into the hidden corridors, the hum of machines and the glow of Kaelra's veins guiding them, toward the unknown, toward danger, and toward a truth that could change everything. The fathers passed. The tunnels beneath Vega-9 twisted endlessly, a maze of metal corridors, humming machines, and flickering lights. Ren Hale led Luna and Kaelra through the shadows, his heart pounding in time with the distant alarms. But now, a heavier weight pressed on him, a truth he was only beginning to understand. Kaelra ran silently beside him, her glowing veins casting green light across the walls. Luna's small hand clutched his tightly. Daddy, and why did they do this to her? She whispered. Ren shook his head. I don't know yet. But we're going to find out. They reached a larger chamber, abandoned now, but once a bustling laboratory. Machines hummed faintly, their lights flickering like stars. Ren's gaze fell on a stack of old data pads, dusty but functional. Something inside him told him to check. He brushed the dust off one pad and activated it. Files scrolled across the screen, showing charts, DNA sequences, and strange symbols he barely recognized. Then his eyes froze. One label read, Human Donor, Naruzo-1. Beneath it was a face he knew. His own. Ren stumbled back. No, this can't be. Kaelra's small voice trembled. They used you, didn't they? Ren clenched his fists, memory flashing through his mind. Years ago, after the war, he had volunteered for a medical research program. They promised it was harmless, a donation to help humanity. He had never imagined. Luna looked up at him, confused. Daddy, what does that mean? Ren crouched, placing a hand on Kaelra's small shoulder. It means, you're part of me. They used my DNA to create you. Kaelra's eyes widened. You're my father? Ren shook his head slowly. No, I'm not, but something of me is in you. They made you with my cells, my blood, maybe even my memories. You're a part of me I never knew existed. Kaelra lowered her head, her small body trembling. I didn't ask to exist. And now they want to take me back. Ren's chest tightened. Then I won't let them. No one hurts my daughter. And no one hurts you either. A sudden sound echoed through the chamber. Metal clanging, heavy boots on the floor. The station's security had tracked them again. Ren Hale, a booming voice called from the doorway. Step forward. You are charged with aiding Subject 47. Ren's jaw tightened. He recognized the voice immediately. Admiral Corrin, the station's commander, ruthless and unyielding. He had been the one overseeing the hybrid experiments. Corrin stepped into the room flanked by armored guards. His visor glinted, reflecting the green glow of Kelra's veins. I warned you, he said calmly. You should have left the subject where she belongs. Ren stepped protectively in front of Kelra and Luna. She's a child, nothing else. And I won't let you hurt her. Corrin tilted his head. You have no idea what you're up against. That child, that creation, she is the future of this station, and you are just a man clinging to the past. Ren's fists clenched. He could feel the weight of the years, the war, the mistakes, the lies, all leading to this moment. But now something had shifted. Kelra's strange energy pulsed faintly through him, a reminder that she was more than a victim. She was powerful, alive, and connected to him in ways he could barely understand. Ren took a deep breath. The past ends now, Corrin. You won't use her, or anyone else, to build your empire. The guards advanced, weapons raised. Kelra stepped beside Ren, her small hands glowing brighter. Luna clutched Ren's coat, trembling but determined. The three of them faced Corrin in the dark chamber. Outside, the city hummed with energy, alive, unaware of the storm about to break beneath its surface. Ren looked at Kelra and Luna, his resolve hardening. I've faced impossible odds before. I will not fail now. Not them, not my daughter. Not this child I didn't even know existed. And in that moment he knew. The fight wasn't just about escape anymore. It was about survival, justice, and the future of everyone the station had used as pawns. The chase wasn't over. The war beneath Vega-9 had only just begun. The rescue and the rage. The dark tunnels of Vega-9 echoed with footsteps and the distant hum of machines. Ren Hale led Luna and Kelra deeper into the Undercity, but the sound of approaching guards grew louder with every step. The alarms from earlier had not stopped. If anything, they had multiplied. They're closing in. Luna whispered, clutching Ren's coat. Kelra's small hands glowed brighter. I can see them. Feel them coming. They are everywhere. Ren's jaw tightened. Then we make them pay for every step. Keep close, Luna. They turned a corner into a wider maintenance corridor. Steam hissed from broken pipes, fog curling around their ankles. Ahead, a group of armed guards blocked the path, their weapons raised, visors glowing red in the dim light. Ren didn't hesitate. He pushed Luna behind him and charged. Years of combat training took over. His movements were precise, fast, and lethal. He dodged, struck, and used the environment, sliding across metal beams, knocking guards off balance and even kicking one into a pile of crates that toppled with a deafening crash. Kelra floated beside him in the chaos, her small body glowing like a green flame. When a drone fired at them, she lifted her hand. A pulse of strange energy surged outward, short-circuiting the machines instantly. Sparks flew, drones fell from the ceiling, and the guards froze in shock. Ren glanced at her, astonished. What are you doing? Kelra's voice was quiet but steady. I'm helping. I can control their machines. Just a little, but it tires me. Luna peeked from behind a crate. It's amazing, she whispered, her eyes wide. They moved forward, using Kelra's abilities to disable security doors and scramble surveillance systems. But the deeper they went, the stronger the opposition became. Red lights flashed and the sound of heavy boots and mechanical engines surrounded them. Finally, they reached a high stairwell leading to the central tower. Ren paused, breathing heavily. This is it, Luna. Stay close, Kelra's glow dimmed slightly. I can't hold the machines much longer. If we want to save her, she nodded toward Luna, we must act fast. Ren nodded, determination hardening his features. Then we end this now. They ran up the stairs and burst into a wide hall. At the far end stood Admiral Corrin, tall and imposing, his armored silhouette reflected in the flickering neon lights. Beside him were two armored guards holding Luna. Ren's heart froze. Luna, he shouted. Step closer, Captain Hale, Corrin said, voice calm, almost amused. Or the child dies. Ren froze for a heartbeat, then charged. He dodged energy blasts and swung with precision, forcing the guards to release Luna. Kaelra raised her hands, a pulse of energy bursting outward, knocking Corin back several steps. Luna ran to Ren, her small arms wrapping around his neck. "Daddy." Ren held her close. "It's okay, kid. You're safe now." But Corin was not defeated. His armor sparked as he rose, eyes glowing red. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered. "She is the key to everything, and now you've ruined everything." Kaelra's eyes glowed brighter, her energy pulsing through the room. "No," she said, voice trembling but strong. "You're wrong. I'm not your key. I'm free, and I choose to protect them." Corin fired his weapon, a beam of energy slicing toward Kaelra. In an instant, Ren threw himself in front of her, absorbing the blast against his armored chest. Pain shot through him, but he stayed upright. Kaelra's hands shot forward, glowing like twin suns. The machines around them shuddered, alarms screaming, and the floor vibrated violently. Sparks flew, lights flickered, and the guards fell backward, stunned and disabled. Ren grabbed Luna's hand. "We go now, move." They ran toward the exit, Kaelra supporting the glow of light behind them. The hall trembled as if the city itself responded to Kaelra's power, alive, defiant, protective. As they disappeared into the tunnels, Ren glanced back. Corin's form was still there, shaking his fist, eyes blazing with fury. But for the first time, Ren realized something. The station's power was no longer just Corin's to control. Kaelra's energy hummed through him now, a bond forming between human and hybrid, father and daughter, protector and child, and in that moment Ren knew one thing for sure. They had survived the first battle. But the real war, the one that could save or destroy them all, was just beginning. The heart of the machine. The tunnels beneath Vega-9 opened into a cavernous chamber that thrummed with raw energy. Lights flickered along massive conduits, and a deep hum vibrated through the metal floor. Ren Hale, Luna, and Kaelra stepped carefully, the glow from Kaelra's veins illuminating the path ahead. At the center of the chamber floated the reactor core, a massive sphere of energy, pulsating like a living heartbeat. Inside it, faces glimmered faintly, frozen in suspended animation. Humans, aliens. Some looked terrified. Some lifeless. Ren froze. He could see them. Countless lives trapped, feeding the station's power. And somewhere in that mass he saw a familiar face. Luna's mother, Mara, preserved like a memory. "Daddy." Luna's voice trembled. Is she okay?" Ren swallowed hard. "I don't know, kid. But I'll find out." Kaelra stepped closer to the core, her small hands raised. "This is where it ends," she whispered. "This is where they control everything. Where they keep the souls." Ren's eyes narrowed. "Then we shut it down. Whatever it takes." Before they could move closer, a shadow fell over them. Admiral Corin appeared, floating above the floor as if the energy in the chamber obeyed him. His armor glowed with reactor power, and his eyes blazed red. "You shouldn't have come here," Corin said, voice echoing. "This core is mine. Every life in it belongs to me." Ren stepped forward, fists clenched. "Not anymore." Corin's hand shot out, and energy tendrils lashed toward them. Kaelra reacted instinctively, her glow flaring, absorbing the tendrils and sending sparks flying in every direction. The machines in the chamber whined under the strain. "Kaelra," Ren shouted. "Be careful." "I can do this," she yelled. Her small hands pressed toward the core and energy surged outward. The faces inside the reactor flickered, some moving slightly, some crying out silently. Ren could hear faint whispers in his mind, a chorus of trapped souls. "This is wrong," Luna whispered, clutching Ren's coat. "It's too much." Ren held her close. "I know, kid. But sometimes, doing what's right is messy." Corin lunged at them, blasting energy toward Kaelra. Ren threw himself between them, taking the brunt of the attack. Sparks flew, and the hum of the reactor rose to a deafening roar. The chamber shook violently. Kaelra's glow intensified, almost blinding. "I can feel them. All of them. They want freedom." Ren looked at her, realization dawning. "Then do it, Kaelra. Use everything you have." Kaelra's hands pressed against the core, and a pulse of pure green energy exploded outward. The reactor trembled, alarms screaming, lights bursting. Faces inside the sphere began to glow brighter, then slowly, one by one, blinked open. Ren's heart raced. "They're alive. They're waking," Corin screamed in rage. "No, you can't." But it was too late. The reactor overloaded, spewing energy in arcs of light. Kelra's small body shone like a star, her power channeling through every wire, every machine. Ren grabbed Luna. "Hold on!" They were thrown to the floor as the chamber shook violently. Sparks rained around them. And then silence. The reactor's hum faded. The floating faces were gone. The energy that had controlled the station had vanished. Corin collapsed, his armor smoking and powerless. Kelra lay on the floor, exhausted, her glow dim. Ren knelt beside her. "Kelra, you did it." She looked up at him, weak but smiling. "We did it. Together." Luna ran forward and hugged Kelra. "Thank you for saving everyone." Ren's eyes scanned the chamber. Somewhere he knew his wife's memory had been freed. Somewhere she was alive and away beyond the machines. Ren took a deep breath. "We've ended it," he whispered. "The city, the lab, all of it, it's over." Kelra nodded faintly, resting her small head on Ren's arm. "Over for now." Ren looked at his daughter and the small alien girl beside them. "And we'll make sure no one ever suffers like this again." Above them, the chamber's lights flickered once, then went dark. Outside, the city hummed, alive, free, the future uncertain, but in their hands. And for the first time in a long time, Ren felt hope, the sacrifice and the light. The chamber beneath Vega-9 was quiet now. The reactor lay in ruins, shattered and sparking, yet the energy inside it still pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat barely holding on. Ren Hale held Luna close, her small body trembling against his chest. Kelra lay a few feet away, her glow dim and flickering. Ren's eyes scanned the wreckage. They had won, in part. The trapped lives in the reactor were free, the station's power corrupting no more. But Kelra's strength was fading fast. "Daddy," Luna whispered, tugging at his sleeve. "She's hurt." Ren knelt beside Kelra, his heart heavy. "I know, kid. But she did what needed to be done. She saved everyone." Kelra's eyes opened slowly, glowing faintly. "I can't hold it much longer," she whispered. Her voice trembled, but there was determination in it. "If I stay, if I channel the last energy, I can make sure every life in the city survives. Every single one." Ren's stomach twisted. "Kelra, no. You don't have to." "I have to," she interrupted softly. "It's the only way." Ren shook his head, panic rising. "You're just a child. You can't sacrifice yourself." Kelra smiled weakly, her glowing hands reaching toward the remaining energy in the shattered reactor. "I'm more than a child now. I'm part of this city, part of everyone we saved, and this is my choice." Luna's small hands covered her.